Hey folks, my name's Brian and you're watching Survival on Purpose. Okay, so welcome back to part 3 of making a knife sheath. And this time we're going to talk about how to wet form a sheath and try to make it mold a little better. As you can see, my sheath was a little big and didn't fit very well. So we're going to see if this helps. So stick with me and we'll see how it works out. Okay, so next step is try to wet form the sheath, and got some hot water here. Just going to take it and soak it in hot water, and you want it to get totally saturated. Let that thing sit for about like 15 minutes or so until it gets totally wet while I'm cleaning up the rest of the stuff. And I've taken actually sprayed Pam on the knife. I've seen people wrap it in saran wrap and all that, but this is an $8 Old Hickory knife. I don't think it's going to hurt it to get a little water on it. I'll clean it up really good and dry it when I finish, but the goal is to get this leather really saturated so it really softens up. Just let it soak for a minute while I clean the rest of my mess up. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. The leather's probably about as wet as it's going to get, I think. So, never done this before either. As I understand it, the idea is to basically, now that the leather is wet, we'll mold it around the knife. Like I say, I put just olive oil on the knife to keep it, hopefully minimize the rust. Put it in here, and then I've seen some videos, other videos on YouTube. That you just want to mold the leather around the knife. Now, I think it would be a lot better if I had some like reasonably dense foam, like memory foam, that I could really make a block and just squeeze against this and hold it in place till it dries. Not sure how to accomplish that. I'm going to try to see if I can find something, because honestly it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot right now, to be honest with you. It's just kind of soggy leather. I don't have any way to get it to stay in place until it dries. So I'm going to work on that situation. All in all, it's my first sheath. I still have the pattern, so it is good. And I think if I make another one, I'll obviously make it a little smaller, because I'm probably well ½ inch too big, maybe all the way around. We're going to keep working at this, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I found what I think may be a solution to get this thing to form a little tighter. I've got 2 car sponges. I actually bought these to bail canoes with when we went on a canoe trip from Walmart. It turns out they're impregnated with some kind of soap, so we had very clean canoes. But I think if you can see that, if you squeeze that together, it looks like it might actually be helping. So what I'm going to do is put this on here and just tie it really tightly, as tight as I can get it around the knife and around the sheath, as I pull the knife towards the back of the sheath, and wrap it up and let it sit like that probably overnight, and get back with you tomorrow. Okay, so I've got my little bundle here of wet knife sheath with the knife in it. You can see right there at the end that it is definitely squeezed up pretty good, so maybe it'll dry and kind of conform to the shape and do a little better job. Once it gets stiff, I'm going to let this thing dry for however long it takes. If it takes it a couple of days or whatever, I don't know. But we'll see how it works. Okay, folks, it's been about 24, probably about 30-something hours, maybe 36 hours or so since we wrapped up did the water form on the knife sheath, wrapped it up in a sponge really tight. Last night at 24 hours or so, really wasn't quite dry. I wanted to give it a good chance to really get dry. And the snow now is melting in Georgia, and I thought it'd be good to come outside and do this, because it's a little prettier. You know, we don't get to see this very often. So I'm going to do the unwrapping now. Let's go ahead and take this off. And see what we come up with if I can get my knot untied. Okay. So go ahead and do these. Got this thing wrapped up pretty good. I thought of using the sponges because it would provide, pretty good compression all around, and maybe help get a better form. We'll see how it worked. I had the sheath really wet. Okay, well right now the knife's coming out pretty easily, so that's not necessarily a good sign. Take this off, because you can see that it did form pretty well. The knife also got a little rust on it. I have to clean that off, even though I put olive oil on it. It still apparently didn't do a good enough job. Go ahead and clean that off right now. But fits in there pretty good. It fits in there a lot better now, actually. So I may wind up having to put a little stitch here, but actually pretty impressed with the way that worked. So I may do some more. Actually, the sheath could be a little smaller, no doubt, but it's my first try at it. And I've actually got another sheath that I bought a Kydex sheath for the Pathfinder knife, so I've got the leather one that I put on Amora. May do a little forming on that also, since this works so well. So anyway, now I got to clean the rust off this thing. The olive oil didn't hold up too well, but I've seen where they actually people recommend to use like saran wrap on it. I probably should have done that, but a little steel will get that off, so not too concerned about it. And mostly it's probably rub off in my hands. Okay, well, so $8 knife and about a $5 bag of leather that could make several sheaths from Hobby Lobby. $7 bag of leather probably. A little wet for me. Not too bad for my first try. It's definitely again a little too big, but you live and learn, and next time I'll know. So hope this has been helpful to somebody. If you've got a good knife you need a sheath for, go ahead, make one. It's not a big deal. So once again, thanks for watching, for subscribing, for giving me a thumbs up if you like this video, putting a comment below there, and give me your ideas on the what you think about the sheath. Any ideas, anything I could have done better, any helpful hints for my next time, because obviously I'm an amateur at this. So once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. So be prepared. See you next time.